Alright guys, let's get started. So the first thing we do is we're going to go ahead and start bulking off the hair here, because that is the smartest and easiest thing to do when attacking these huge transformations, right? Just start bulking it. Now, notice though, I'm using my comb as a guideline to not go up above with the 2. And usually you don't want to go more than like mid above the head when you're bulking, you know? And obviously I know what kind of haircut I'm doing. We're going to be doing a mid bald fade on him. So that would obviously as well go ahead and determine how high you go up with the number 2 guard. After I'm done with that, I go ahead and just start clip over combing here. And if you notice, I'm making sure the hair is in the position that it needs to be, because if it was in a different position and I went ahead and clip over comb that, it wouldn't look the same. From here, we progressively go ahead and start damping our client's hair. Here, what I'm doing is I'm going up to about the perimeter of his head, and I'm making sure that I'm only clip over combing the hair that I need. Holding it at a 30-degree angle. Gonna wet it a little bit more, and again, parting it, making sure I'm only cutting the hair that I need. Alright, and here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start putting in our first initial guideline. And I always go ahead and drop the lever. I open the lever just a tad bit so it's not fully closed, so I don't create such a harsh line, because we all know that's hard to get out. And when you're doing this and going around the ears, make sure to go ahead and put them down. It's very easy to nick your client. Again, make sure that the lever isn't all the way closed, because that guideline is hard to take out. I'm using a surgical blade, right? These are the black 5-star seniors. These bad boys right here have a surgical blade and they're really sharp. So if you're not used to using, if you're not used to cutting a lot, I wouldn't suggest using these clippers as a first time, haircut introduction to the barber game clipper, And what I'm doing here is I grab the shaver and I'm going an inch below the initial guideline, because this gives me the freedom and the ability to fade that bald shaver guideline that I'm creating right now, while still not going all the way up to that first initial guideline that I created with this bald senior. And the reason why I go an inch below with the shaver is because it's really easy to bring it up high enough to where you create another hard guideline. So that's why I keep it an inch below. And now I grab the 1.5 and I created a second guideline. I now open the clipper, drop the lever all the way down, and created a third guideline. I'm hitting up that third guideline, the one on top. I'm hitting that bad boy up with the 1.5 open, flicking it out. Now I grab the 1 and I'm flicking out that second guideline I created. Right, softening it up. And the reason why I get rid of that last guideline on top first is because once that's faded, the only initial thing that's left is the first guideline we initially created. And I like to fade out the first guideline at the very last, because it's just I just feel like it's very much easier to do that, And now we go ahead and get to the back, creating it with second guideline with a 1.5 closed, 1.5 guard all the way closed. I'm creating a third guideline with no guard on, lever all the way open, and 1/2 inch. Each of the guidelines I create are 1/2 inch above every guideline that I created. And now all I'm doing is a word coined, rather he should coin it by E. Jones, which is called trigger play, going up and down, fading that first guideline to that second. And right there you saw me use my liners and also my shavers, because I saw under the first initial guideline that I still had some darkness that I wanted to get rid of. Here, hitting up that last guideline, right, that 1.5 guideline with the lever all the way open, with the 1.5 guard on there, flicking it out. Now I'm going back in there with the 1, trigger playing, going back and forth, removing darkness and light. If there's darkness and light, it needs to be removed. All right, and I've said it time and time again, and that's all fading is. If there is darkness and light, it needs to go away. And that's all fading is, essentially. Here, hitting it with the 1 underneath that 1.5 initial guideline that we created. So if you notice, I only do 3 guidelines. a 0 guideline, a 0.5 guideline, and a 1.5 guideline, right? Which is again a 0 guideline, right? A 0.5 guideline, which is a half, and a 1.5 guideline, which is a 1.5, right? Or 1.5. And here you see it, right? So it's that first initial guideline, second guideline with the 0.5, third guideline with the 1.5, right? Which is a 1.5. Boom. We're gonna go ahead and go in right now and take out that second guideline right now. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm flicking out with the 1.5 open, taking out that top guideline. Boom, clipper overcombing because it's so bulky. Notice I'm not grabbing a 3, a 4, or 5. No, I'm just banging this out with the clipper overcomb. And I feel like that is a very easy and most effective way of fading this out. I still see darkness in there, so I have the 1.5 open. I'm fading it out, which is a 2, right? When you open the lever, it adds like a 0.5 to it. So it adds a half to it. So right now it's a 2. And I'm just fading it out. All right, now we're gonna be focusing on that second guideline right here. I went in there, I'm fading it out with the 1 guard. Right, there we go, lining it up, softening that bad boy up. Boom, gonna hit that little area right there with no guard on. Trigger plane going up and down, going up and down. Back with the 1, right? And here we go, it's gonna get interesting. I'm hitting that second guideline right there with the 1. Right, you see how it got softened up a little bit? Now I'm going back in there with the 1.5 to remove that darkness right there. You can see it. Boom, with the 1.5 open or halfway open, however you want to do it, as long as it takes it out. Now I'm going into that first guideline in there. Right, that first initial guideline is a 0 guideline. The only thing that removes a 0 guideline is the 0 clipper, right? So the guard all the way close. That's what you remove. If that's what you use to create it, that is what you're going to need to flick it out, believe it or not. Now it's going to flick out with a 0.1, right, with the lever slightly opened. And then from there, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, till you finally get up to your second guideline, which is a 0.5. And that's how you guys fade. That's how you fade, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason why I went ahead and lined them up first there before I actually finished my fade was because sometimes I feel like since there's no guideline there or something to stop you, you kind of fade more than what you need to, you know? And that's why I went ahead and lined them up before I faded it out. As you can see here, I go back in there a little bit more as well to make sure it's sharp. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and start fading out this beard, fading the haircut into the beard. Right now what I'm doing is I'm freehanding it. We're looking at any of the straggly hairs. Notice how I'm standing behind him and looking behind him through his beard and to see if there's any straggly hairs that I need to touch. Clipper over comb on the beard, right? Slightly just getting all of the straggly hairs that I see. And then when you're lining up somebody's beard on the sides here by the ear, keep it as natural as possible, guys. And the reason why you want to do that is because a lot of people go in, and obviously that's not a straight line, but if I were to go all the way straight, it would look ugly. It'd look fresh for the video, but in a few days, like, it's just not going to look right. You feel me? So make sure you keep people's beard as natural as possible. I'm using a pick here, a hair pick, to go ahead and just pick out his hair. You know, it's bulky, rather his beard hair. And here we go. Real nice and natural. Look at that. Effortlessly. Freehand, holding it. Now, my wrist is locked, by the way. My wrist is locked. You guys will develop that over time. Now, along with wrist locking abilities, you're also going to develop techniques that kind of just help you and let you know how much hair you actually have to cut off. You understand me? And by that I mean, like, you're just gonna look at it and be like, this fits this man, you know? Now that's a trick and an ability that takes some time. Now here, what we're gonna do is go ahead and start getting all this hair over his lip. Like, what is going on with my man? How do you eat? I don't like, Like, come on now. Like, that bad boy right there is something that's blocking the food from going in. You know what I mean? Like, we taking real good care of him right now. He looking like, damn. You know, we taking care of him. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and do the other side as well. All right, boom. So that first initial guideline, right, we fading out with the 0. Boom, 0.5. Hit it with the 1 right there. Right, I better fade that out, okay, because yeah, that wasn't faded. Hit it with the 1. Notice I went with the grain, right? You're going to go ahead and develop these things where you know to go with the grain or not. And you know how you develop it? By simply doing it. And if you messed up, guess what? You messed up. What more can you do? Now you know never to do that again. You understand me? And there's going to be a lot of errors. You know what I'm saying? A lot of errors, and that's just the beauty of it. You know what I mean? You guys are going to get a lot better. Go, making sure this is super sharp, taking care of him, man. Alright, now what I'm doing now, the reason why I like using lather opposed to shaving gel is for the simple fact that nothing to me cold on the skin feels good, right? And not only that, but this is a dying art. Come on now, like using, go look at this. Look how beautiful. When you think of a barber, right? You think of the hot towel with a straight razor shave. You know what I mean? Look, I'm even going above and beyond. Pressure points. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see that? Real nice, real smooth. Look at this. This man is ready to rock. He's rejuvenated. And also, the reason why I don't razor the man while he was laying down is for the simple fact that you can't see somebody's beard when they're laying down. You feel me? Right here, I'm keeping it as natural as possible. I'm looking at his facial structure. Using the mirror as well as my guide to go ahead and line this beard up to his facial structure. Hitting up the side right there as well. Alright, this is a backhand stroke. I don't recommend this for a lot of new beginners at all. Sometimes the lather just dry up, put a little bit more, hit it back with a hot towel, wipe it off. Boom. Bingo bango, right? So you guys, thanks so much for watching. This concludes our video. I hope you enjoyed this transformation, and here it is. Check it out. Bam. 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 You know what I mean? Humble was hairy and scared, and we took mad good care of him, you guys. Thank you for watching, for enjoying my video and sticking all the way through. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Frank the Man. Make sure to subscribe, and most importantly, thank you for joining me on this journey of becoming a barber god. And Barber Gods is a movement that represents barbers in the elite, highest level of barbering, and anyone on a journey to become that. Thank you once again. Have a blessed day. Peace.